Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, Senior Special Assistant to the President. But for Barrow River Port, also completed under this administration, wonderful port with all the necessary equipment. What we are doing now is opening up the channel. And then the only challenge we had there, which is government has drastically addressed now, was the issue of road to Barrow, road infrastructure. But government is already addressing that because federal government has made a commitment and the contractor is already on site to get that place opened. Then this channel, this slide. The beautiful thing about this slide now that we're showing you is that ordinarily, nobody will want to talk about Lake Chad. But as we speak now, survey work is going on in Lake Chad. What that goes to say is that, one, the issue of insecurity has been sufficiently addressed. Because ordinarily, if there was that insecurity that is being painted in Lake Chad, I don't think our surveyors will be in Lake Chad. We are collaborating with the Nigerian Navy, and the survey work is going on now as we speak. The hydrographic survey of Lake Chad waterways. And you see, the beautiful thing about Lake Chad waterways is that once we are able to open these waterways, it's an international route that will take us outside this country. It opens up our nation to about 5 countries from the Lake Chad. Then the next one is, when we talk about maintenance dredging, okay, can you go back to that slide? This is Port Harcourt. Maintenance dredging is going on in Port Harcourt as we speak. We're also doing maintenance dredging somewhere in Lagos. And we're also doing maintenance dredging in Warri, even Onitsha, because we are trying to clear the waterways in Onitsha so that the port can be fully and effectively utilized. Then let's look at what have we been able to do as an organization in very concrete terms between 2015 and to date. So what I have done here is we just picked a few of them because we have a booklet which I'll make available to the committee later of what we have done, everything in detail. But what we have done now is to select a few of them and then put them down. Between 2015 and 2016, we did shore protection works at Marine Base Waterfront in Sabah, in Delta State, and Ndoni Waterfront in Rivers. We also did maintenance dredging within River Niger in Kelebe in Kogi State and Omaisha Waterfront River Benue in Nasarawa State. We did maintenance dredging of River Non, the navigational channel at Angoloma, Sabama crossing in River State. We also installed automatic gauge and discharge measurement on River Niger at Onitsha in Anambra State. We charted the river crossing at Nuritu Creek, Ilechi Creek, Amadi Creek, and Choba River. All these are in River State. We also did the extension of jetty landing platform and construction of shoreline protection works at the reinforced concrete jetty in Ogurugu in Enugu State. There's interfacing with the private sector on the development of inland waterways infrastructure. There are 2 companies that we have spoken to, and they are so committed to help us in developing our ports. Let me also say that we have now, as we speak, received unsolicited proposals from corporate organizations, both foreign and local, who are willing to complete the Lokoja River Port and complete the Oguta River Port. So we are discussing with them. By the time, I'm sure in a short while, we'll be able to conclude, and then they will get to work. Because the fear usually foreign investors have with regards to investing in things like this is that concessioning of ports has always been like story. But under this administration, it has been successfully done. That's why we take Onitsha River Port concession as our poster boy in marketing other ports that other people can get involved. For 2017-2018, we took the construction of ferry landing platforms at Yauri, Kawara, Zamere, Gebi, but all in Kebbi State. We have done river training works by dredging option from Barrow to Onitsha, through Ilushi to Ela to Onitsha section. We have also done the Baja jetty at Ajokuta. We also did a river, Umaku, in Isialangwa, Abia State, for deepening of navigational channels. We did some dredging there. Then we have installed anchorage on River Niger to improve the bathing facility at Lokoja jetty. We have also provided geoinformatics equipment for hydrographic surveys of navigational channels. Then if you look at charting, we have done quite a lot of work. Survey charting of river crossing at Jeba, Itobe, Budan, Oyendega, Agwagwa, Ayipa, Kainji, Itoye, either Lokoja, USC Wharf, Ota, Ogudu, Sec 2, Dakata, Bele, Raba, Muregi, upstream Bogun, Ghana. Okay. So, just to mention some of the areas we have done serious dredging works. We charted them, and with the chart we have received, then it guides us in determining where we can dredge. Then we have also done maintenance dredging at Ajokuta, Gabion, and Reynolds mattresses at the downstream of Barrow Inland River Port, and Umuaku Mvosi in Abia State. We have provided floating jetties at Lekki Phase 1 and the Woroshoki. If you remember when they were repairing the third mainland bridge, there became a very strong need for us to provide alternative means of transport. So we provided floating jetties, which was serving Lekki Phase 1 and then Woroshoki. We have done buoying of River Niger from Barrow to Lokoja, Lokoja to Onitsha, Onitsha to Warri. Somebody will ask, what is buoying? Buoying is, because not everybody knows it, buoying is laying of navigational aids and guide on river channels, because there are massive equipments that we drop, floating equipments that we drop as a guide to guide vessels so that they don't run into either wreck or run aground, or depending on the depth of the channels. Then for 2019-2020, we have done an improvement of berthing facilities at Lokoja Dockyard. I showed you something we were doing at Lokoja Dockyard in the previous slide. Then we have digitalized the National Inland Waterways Authority operations. We're digitalizing all our operations. We have constructed a new jetty at Lamai in Ogun State. We have also constructed a jetty at Odekbe, Baru, local government of Anambra State. Not only did we put a jetty there, we also put a warehouse there. We have constructed a jetty at Yenegua in Bayelsa State. We have constructed a boat terminal at Bakin Kogi and Uruboki in Adamawa State. We have procured cargo handling equipment for the Lokoja River Port. If you look at the slide, you see the mobile harbor crane. The one, this type we have at Barrow River Port, we have them now in our office in Lokoja because they have all been delivered by those who were privileged to win the contract to procure them. They've brought them, we have them with us, and then we will soon install them the moment we are able to conclude the Lokoja River Port. Then we have made provision of electronic register for inland water vessels. All our assets and infrastructure, inland waterways, right-of-ways, we are all having them now in our electronic register. Then one thing that is very key, which we have done, is the prompt prosecution of defaulters of Inland Waterways Transport Code, with a view to ensuring deterrent to others. Our people need to be made to obey the rules. Once we get them to obey the rules, some of the accidents you have or mishaps happening once in a while will not be there. We have done a successfully test run of movement of cargo between Onei, River State, and Onitsha. There was an argument, it's not possible, don't try it, the draft is not. We said, no, let's try it first. Unfortunately, we got flat bottom badges, and they moved consignment from Onei to Onitsha successfully. What we are doing now is we are trying to conclude the arrangements to move cargo from Onitsha, from Lagos to Onitsha. Because once we are able to do this, others will buy into it. I've spoken to the chambers of commerce, I've engaged them, Import Association, I've engaged them. But this attitude of let's wait, let government do it first. If government succeeds, then we can follow. That is what is holding commercializing that operations. Because one, it is cheaper, it is safer, it is more reliable. And most importantly, it will save our road infrastructure. Now, we have also done the charting of the 12-kilometer distance from the confluence of River Niger to Gurara River. We have also done charting and buoying of waterways from Marina to Ikorodu and then Marina to Badagry. Not only have we charted them, we have already buoyed them. And for 2021 to 2022, we've constructed a new jetty at Ila in Delta State. We reconstructed and rehabilitated the Warri wooden jetty, which I showed you, and now to a concrete jetty. We have also done construction of ferry ramp at Jem, Taraba State, and ramp at Tanzam, Anambra State. We've done shore protection works on River Niger at Jamata Inland River Ports. We've extended the shore wall protection works at NIWA, our NIWA Marina office, the Marina Jetty in Lagos. Continuation of construction of the Oguta Inland River Port in Imo State. Let me also mention here, because it's something that gives me excitement. Before this present administration came, the Uguta River Port was abandoned. For almost 13 years, it wasn't on the budget. It never appeared on the budget. But by the grace of this government, 3 years ago, it was returned back to the budget and provision made for it. And then work is ongoing now on Uguta River Port. We have rehabilitated the jetty at Umuisha in Nasarawa State. We've provided automated hydrographic survey vessels, 2 world-class hydrographic survey vessels. We have taken delivery of them. We procured them. In compliance with international requirements, the authority NIWA is actively involved in the implementation of the International Ships and Ports Facility Security, ISPS code. We are fully involved in it, so all our jetties now, all our ports are ISPS compliant. We are undergoing serious training and certification and licensing of boat drivers and operators. Not too long ago, I went to close the training session in Badagry, where we trained 450 boat operators. We are also doing the training in Warri, because we have a training school there we have developed in Warri to help us train, because we insist that boat operators must be qualified and licensed. Since we have started licensing vessels, so that non-qualified, would I say, vessels will not be seen to be plying on our waterways. We have also approved at management level that the same training be undertaken both in Yauri and in Kano. Then within this period under reference, we have procured and distributed 20 numbers patrol boats for NIWA area offices. These ones are the ferry boats we delivered to Yauri. 3 weeks ago, we delivered another one to Yauri. This to add to the one we have previously given to the place, because we noticed that there is a great need for ferry boats. Now, as we speak, construction process is ongoing for one of our procurements for Shiroro in Niger State, where we're going to also send a vessel. And the same period, I went to hand over the vessel to the area office in Yauri, which the Emir commissioned. We laid the foundation stone of a modern terminal, because from Yauri you can go out of the country to Burkina Faso and all these areas. So we felt that there was a urgent need for a modern boat terminal, so that those passengers who come in there can have a place. So we just laid the foundation stone there. We have also provided 8 ambulances, water ambulances across the country's navigable waterways. Wreck removal, like I said earlier, is a continuous process. As we speak, we have done a lot of wreck removal in Lagos, we've done in Bayelsa, in Port Harcourt, and we'll continue to do that. And in this year, we are going to do rock blasting in Yauri, because that is one challenge we have in Yauri. There's more or less, we don't have wreck challenge. We rather have rock challenge there, so which we are going to do rock blasting. It's part of our procurement. And then tree removal. We have partnered with Hyperdeck to remove the trees in Niger, Shiroro. One obstruction we have there, one challenge we have there is the trees. So we are removing them gradually, and we are partnering with Hyperdeck in doing that. Like I said, we have already delivered 32-seater passenger ferries to Yauri. If you come to our headquarters now, we are building a research center, a NIWA research center that is almost nearing completion. And not only that, also we are also building another massive office structure in NIWA. Excuse me. And then we are also building permanent berthing facilities at Lokoja Dockyard. We have also succeeded in rehabilitating our workshops, both in Port Harcourt and in Warri. Now we can service and maintain our engines in our area offices, both in Warri and in Port Harcourt. Let me also say here that we have successfully concluded the training of 20 of our staff by Yamaha of Japan on the maintenance of engines. Then we have, within this period under reference, massively distributed life jackets across our 23 area offices. We have given out a lot of life jackets, because one thing we observed is that a lot of the passengers don't even know that life jackets expire. So we have upped the ante with regards to training, with regards to getting the people to know about it and what is expected of them, and then distribute life jackets across our 23 area offices. We have established search and rescue stations in 9 locations across Nigeria. Complete modern world-class search and rescue stations. All right, okay. Another thing that we have done, which we felt was very important and has helped us quite aggressively, is the fact that we had to set up task forces. We did a test run with Lagos, and it worked out well. Task forces that patrol and enforce waterway protocols. So when it worked out well in in Lagos, we are now doing it in Onitsha, and we intend to gradually move it to our 23 area offices. Excuse me. We have laid navigational and marker buoys, removal of wrecks and derelicts, and also maintenance dredging in Port Harcourt. We are doing survey and charting of lower rivers Niger and Benue by NIWA and the Nigerian Navy Hydrographic Office. This project is being done by us and the Navy. In fact, I must place on record the support we have received from them. They've been quite cooperative. So we have this project we are running together. And this project is being promoted by a company called Sea-Link Promotional Company Limited, but is funded by Nexim Bank. The first phase of this project, this charting and mapping, has been concluded. It started from the lower rivers Niger and Benue, and it continues going down towards Onitsha. We have concluded the first phase, and we are about to start the second phase. We have provided a jetty at Tinkan Island in collaboration with the Ecological Fund Office. A modern jetty has been completed and commissioned. In fact, it was our former MD, the President Minister of Science and Technology, that did the commissioning, Senator Mamora. Like I said, we're 20 members, NIWA engineers and technicians by Yamaha Motors of Japan on the repair and maintenance of Yamaha outboard engines. Okay, let me also appreciate government, because there's something unique. If you recall, the Lokoja River Port is a big port, but it was abandoned before this government came, on the grounds because of lack of funding by previous administrations. So the contractor kind of abandoned site. But this government reviewed the contract upwards and started the funding. So work is ongoing now on the Lokoja River Port that was abandoned over the years. Then, like I said, we have very successfully concessioned the Onitsha River Port to Universal Elysium. Then, aggressive enforcement of Inland Waterways Transportation Code to ensure safety on our waterways. The Transport Code, we are aggressively enforcing it so that we can make sure that safety is guaranteed on our waterways. Okay, let me also say that NIWA is one agency that has its own police command. We have a NIWA police, and then we have sub-commands in 23 area offices. And what we're doing is to support and encourage them. And they have contributed massively in enforcing the transport code. They've also, the role they played, especially during the COVID period, must be mentioned, because we enforced the COVID protocols aggressively, and it is the police that helped us to a very great extent to do this. Though we still get support from the police headquarters, because they send the men to our own police command. We have consistently, since 2015, improved the capacity of the command, especially in the area of welfare and training. Also, the authority has provided patrol boats to the police to boost the capacity of the command. You can see patrol boats like that. For example, they are trying to stop that vessel, because if you notice, some of them are not wearing life jackets. So that's kind of experiences we have. We stop them, we take them offshore, and then disembark the passengers and impound the vessel. Because if you don't do that, the next day they will carry, either if it's a boat that's designed to carry 20, they will carry 40. And of the 40, 30 will not wear life jacket. They will tell you it's just there we are going, just there, just there. Then efforts we're making in improving security within the nation's waterways in collaboration with the Nigerian Navy. The Navy has been quite supportive. We have collaborated in a lot of instances, and they have been there to encourage us. Once we have any need, even in training and what have you, they're always there for us. So it's important that we appreciate them for what they have done. We have also encouraged our local communities through sensitization for this community policing. We encourage them to be part of it because we have teams that go around from area office to area office to talk to the communities that we operate in, to encourage them, because you cannot successfully check insecurity, bunkering, or banditry, whatever it is, without getting the buy-in of the local community. So we keep encouraging them, we keep talking with them, and getting involved through our programs by way of addressing some of the challenges. There are some cases where we have been involved in building community halls. There are some instances we provide palliatives, but to make sure that they see us as partners in progress. And it's been working. Then for us in NIWA, for us to enhance security in the waterways, irrespective of the efforts made to improve safety and security within the nation's waterways, the authority is looking into introducing more technology in securing the waterways in the following areas. We have high-level discussion, which is still ongoing, with telecommunication companies to provide services across the length and breadth of the nation's inland waterways. This will greatly improve the provision of security and safety within the waterways. We are automating most of our security network so that we can monitor activities and to provide effective response to security challenges across our waterways. We're partnering with a South African company to help us in concluding this. Then we're working towards providing lighthouses along the waterways to guide ships or to warn them of any perceived danger. Then provision of light armored patrol boats to protect the command, our police command, from attacks during operation. Once in a while, you have resistance. Next slide. This is the boys. When I say we are providing boys, this is the boys. These are guides. You find them on routes. You can see red, you can see green, you can see blue. But the unique thing about them is that in the night, there's light on top of the boys, so that wherever you're coming from, wherever you're operating from, you'll be able to see them. However, what we have done as one of our policies is that vessels don't operate from any NIWA recognized jetty once it is 6:30 p.m. Because statistics have shown that 95% of the accidents that have happened on the waterways either happen late in the night or early in the hours of the morning. So we don't allow vessels to take off from any jetty once it is 6:30 a.m. Once it's 6:30 p.m. And then you don't take off unless it is 6 a.m. in the morning, so that you can see, because most of the vessels you have don't have night navigational aids. Because vessels that operate in the night are designed to operate in the night. But since most of them don't have it, and since accidents are prone to occur at that time, we stop them from operating during those times. Except from vessels we have certified as having night navigational aids, and they are licensed to operate all day round. Other things we are doing is generation, protection, and sharing of data with security agencies to aid criminal investigation and security planning in illegal oil bunkering and piracy. Systematic boat registration scheme, not only for standardization of boats, but also for the promotion of security. Because the moment boat owners know that their boats are registered by NIWA and licensed, the likelihood of allowing such boats to be used for illegal activity will not be there, because you'll be caught. So because of those registrations, they try to avoid getting involved in such illegal activities. Provision of more personnel to the NIWA Police Command. The Nigeria Police has been quite supportive, though we've asked for additional personnel to help us for effective coverage of the vast waterway network. Like I did say, we have a massive waterway network. And as we continue with our maintenance, dredging, and opening up of channels, the need for more monitoring will also be there. Then we are collaborating with neighboring countries to secure boundary locations along waterways, to avoid a situation where somebody will commit a crime here and cross over to the next country. So there's this collaboration going on, and we're talking with the agencies in those countries We are relating with them so that they will understand our operational codes and we also understand theirs so that we can work together with a view to creating the enabling environment for the business to grow. Then there are key policy initiatives which we have adopted in NIWA. Some of them include a proposed amendment bill of the Authorities Enabling Act to empower the authority to better meet its mandate. We realize that the bill as it is today does not really provide us the needed authority for us to be able to actualize in full detail our mandate. And I'm happy to say that the National Assembly is giving it attention. Then development and concession of inland river ports. This is a PPP initiative that will ensure a private sector participation in the management of authorities' ports, with government playing the role of regulator. We don't want to manage the ports. We want to regulate activities in the ports. Then maintenance, dredging, and river training works of the waterways for all year-round navigation. Provision of formidable security mechanism for the inland waterways through the Inland Waterways Police and other joint collaborations. Adoption of the e-government platform to enhance documentation efficiency, instill accuracy and transparency in our transactions, as well as block possible leakages of authorities' revenue, and to ensure the ease of doing business. Like I said, these are policy initiatives. But now we have strategic initiatives we are also getting involved in. Measures to improve the inland waterway transportation system in Nigeria. One is the expansion of infrastructure. More ports and jetties are being constructed around the country, and linkages between the water transportation sector and other forms of transportation are being promoted. As we speak, we have procurement process going on for new jetties in different locations spread across the country. Then purchase of modern river crafts. In order to bridge the gap of providing adequate and modern river crafts to ply the waterways, the authority has continuously engaged the purchase of crafting of modern river crafts to fill up the vacuum in the inland waterways transport sector. Like I did say, when the Honorable Minister visited our office in Port Harcourt, he also had the opportunity to inspect our tugboats, our houseboats, and so some other ferries and vessels. As we speak now, procurement process is still going on for some other passenger vessels and ferries. And during our recent trip, we engaged some organizations that are interested in bringing ferries to Nigeria to operate within our inland waterways. And by the time we're able to conclude, that will also help us to a very great extent. The recruitment of technical staff. In our bid to make the water transport sector perform optimally, the authority has engaged and is currently engaging more technical staff into its fold to ensure optimal service delivery. In fact, before we came here today, we were toying with the idea of sending one or two of our staff out of the country to go to the Hydrographic Institute to study to develop their skill. Because I just mentioned that we have procured brand new hydrographic survey vessels. 2 of them have arrived. Yes, we have people to man it, but we're looking at a situation where we have more people who know the job, so that in case, because certainly those who are operating it today will retire. And when they retire, we don't want them to go completely with their knowledge. We want them to train other people. The strengthening of Inland Waterway Police Command. Provision of security patrol boats is currently being prioritized as more of the boats are purchased annually. Enlightenment of communities along the waterways on the dangers of engaging in illegal bunkering is also being employed. NIWA Act, like I said, the bill is before the National Assembly, which if passed will enhance and increase our revenue generation of the authority and ultimately enhance the capacity of NIWA to deliver on its mandate. Manual and mechanical clearing of water hyacinth has been employed. More weed harvesters are purchased for utilization around the country. This is one issue that is like an annual ritual. You can clear all the water hyacinth you have in Nigeria this season. By next rainy season, they say it comes from overseas. By next rainy season, you still have water hyacinth. So we have vessels, water harvesters water hyacinth harvesters that we have. We are procuring more because we are doing that both manually and also technically. The port functioning at optimal capacity. A day-to-day running of the affairs of the ports by private sector would attract the desired expertise needed to transform the inland waterways transport sector and enhance its contribution to the growth and development of the nation. Like I just mentioned about the Onitsha River Port, their technical partner is the Port of Antwerp. Their technical partner is the Port of Antwerp. As we talk now, in Onitsha, they have the staff of Port of Antwerp who are on ground, who are managing the port. So in concluding this presentation, let me once again place on record our sincere gratitude to Mr. President and the Federal Executive Council for all the support we have received. We couldn't have done this much we have done. Like I said, this is not all we have done. We tried to abridge it, realizing that we are limited by time. But I will make available a comprehensive list of all that NIWA has done, at least within the period that I have been in charge, since 2019, so that you'll be able to now have a clearer look at what we have done. So I must thank Mr. President for the support we have received. I also want to thank our ministers for the support, thank the ministry generally, because we can't do this on our own. So once again, I thank you for this opportunity, and God bless us.
Thank you.